Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 37. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the man scared of the camera, Kevin Tarney.
What up? I'm being replaced.
No, you're not. Calm down, Kev. I knew you would say that. And a special guest this week, which we just put out yesterday, Mike from Outside Xbox. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How you doing?
How's it going? How are you guys?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Thank you for hitting me up on Twitter.
That's all right.
Appreciate it. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has actually. We met each other a little while ago, didn't we?
Look, that's the first thing we've got to do. So everyone's like, Corey, how did you make this happen? And I'm like,
A lot of money.
I don't know.
Just a load of money in a brown paper bag.
And he doesn't pay me at all.
So I met Mike on I was finishing work at Cholton, as most of you know. I work at Cholton Football Club taking bets. So I'm just finished work. I'm tired as hell. I get on the bus and I'll look at this guy and I think, I know that face. But I carry on walking to the back of the bus with my fiancée Hayley, as most of you know. And I think to myself, oh, what do I do? Do I say something? Do I not? And then I'm like, oh, I'm the type of guy that I'm going to say something. Because opportunities are there to be made.
Of course.
So I stop you and go, I know you from somewhere. And the problem was, I couldn't remember your name.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I remembered Andy.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrible.
That's all right.
I'm a terrible
That's fine.
person. Look, I'm going to put it out there. And I was like, I know you. And I was like, you do something with Xbox, right? He's like, yeah, I work outside Xbox. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I leave you alone. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
That'd do. Then conveniently enough, we get off the bus at the same stop.
Yeah.
Oh, conveniently, eh? He was
I
following
promise. You know what the weird thing was? Haley was standing on the bus and I was going to my uncle's that day. So it probably looked like I got off the bus just to talk to you as well. And I thought that I was like, oh, this looks terrible, but I've got to do it anyway. So as I get off the bus, I look in my pocket. I'm like, I've got business cards. So I'm like, excuse me, I don't mean to take up too much more of your time, but here's a business card. I get to my uncle's house 2 minutes later. I've got 2 new followers, one from Mike and one from Outside Xbox.
There you go.
Hey.
And let's make it very clear. It made my day. I was jumping around the room like, oh my god, this is amazing. Oh, it was crazy. But from your point of view, how did that go? Was it like this crazy guy ran up to me and started fanboying that? I tried my hardest not to.
No, it's cool. So I always like meeting people who watch our stuff, obviously, and you've clearly got some stuff going on. And particularly, I think the thing that sort of intrigued me was obviously the Xbox connection. We're kind of brothers in arms. We lived through the launch of the Xbox One together, so I felt a certain solidarity there, certain kinship, and so I thought I'd follow you on Twitter and see what you're up to.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. It was amazing. Kev, I told you it was a decent story.
It was all right.
I'm one of those.
I expected like you to be a hero in a situation like you saved him from a truck or something.
Yeah, the bus was on fire.
It was
the
all
bus
right.
was on fire at the time. And he
Yeah, exactly.
took me out.
Is that what
I
it was?
actually rescued him off the bus, then handed him a
See,
business
why did you
card.
start
That's
with
what
that?
happened.
Why did
Sorry.
you start with
He
that?
didn't want to mention
I
it.
left
He's a humble
that part
guy.
out.
He's a humble guy.
Yeah, but so for those who don't know you, Mike,
Yes.
how do you describe yourself?
I guess I'm a YouTuber. I suppose that's the word that people use. Although most of them don't ride on the bus, I don't think. I'm one of those baller YouTubers who rides around
I'm
the
blowing
bus.
up your spot. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to
It's
like
fine.
put it out. It's because you just come back from a long trip and you had to get a bus
Yeah,
back,
of course.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
So yeah, we make YouTube videos about Xbox, and it's something I've been kind of doing for a little while. I used to work on magazines, so I used to work on the official Xbox magazine, and then me, Andy, and James were all friends. And Andy was on Inside Xbox, James was on GameSpot, and we kind of all came together to create Outside Xbox, sort of making the kind of gaming videos that we would want to watch. So stuff that's got kind of jokes in it and that kind of looks back on all of gaming, not just the latest releases, but stuff that we loved from years ago, like retro stuff, things like that. So we're just trying to make like gaming entertainment. A lot of people complain about the fact there's not enough video games on TV, and we're like trying to do something that's somewhere in between YouTube and television. It's still quite low budget, but we put a lot of time into like writing the scripts and trying to make it as funny as possible.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like. Sorry, go on, Kev.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, that's what I pull from your channel because I've been sub to you for a number of years, and the fact is, you put humour in your content, which like a number of these big outlets don't. So that's why, like, I was attracted to your channel.
Yeah, it's tough. It makes it harder. Like I sit there in front of like a blank piece of paper, and I'm like, am I going to be able to think of any jokes today? And it's only when you start writing and then you start thinking back to kind of all these games that you've played. And we're basically just poking fun of weird stuff. Like, we love all games. We love, the video game stories. I like get lost to stuff like Mass Effect and things like that. But there's always something a bit weird in there, or a bit funny, or a bit broken. And there's always something you kind of gently poke fun at. We're not super sarcastic. We're not like trying to take games down or anything like that. But we're aware that they're not always like great pieces of art or like great pieces of storytelling. And normally there's some fun stuff to kind of pick up on there.
You're being very humble.
I don't know about that.
You guys are huge.
Well, we've gotten quite big, and it's
1.7 million subscribers.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. It's a lot.
That's nothing on my 15.
No, but
it's quality, not quantity, right? Those 15, I'm sure they are amazing.
No, but you are. It's like, I remember I followed the channel for ages, and then I fell off, and then I come back, and I've always enjoyed the content, but you do something different, and I think that's why you're so big. It's not the usual top 5. It's something different every time. I'm always looking forward to the next video, even if it's something I might not be interested in such games.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's part of it. Again, like, we recognise that we're not always talking about stuff that people have heard of, but we're hoping that like we'll come up with something that's interesting, and then hopefully people will like seek that out and look out for it. So we get a lot of people who like, we keep banging on. There's a game called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, right? It's not an Xbox game. It was a PC game. And
hey, slow your roll there. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like just something we keep coming back to because it's such an awesome game, and like a lot of people have said, "Oh, I picked this up on Steam because you keep talking about it over and over again," and they love it. And it's, if we're a way for people to discover new games as well, that's awesome too, because there's so many cool things out there that weren't released in the last 6 months, basically.
Don't worry, the guys at Kinda Funny made me buy a Vita, so
Well, I've got a Vita as well. We should get back on that bus and have an ad hoc Wi-Fi.
I'm not in the cool boy club. I haven't got a Vita.
Get out of here, Kev. You ain't got time for
See what I mean? I'm being replaced here.
Let's get the rigmarole out of the way. So I've got... I'm bare forgetting things because I've got a star with me. No, joking. This week's episode of My Xbox and Me is brought to you by mcfixer.co.uk and atalives.net. Happy, Kev? Calm down, fella. The website's been plugged. You ain't been replaced. We're all good, all right?
Okay.
Also, this episode is brought to you by Mike Lynch, and Mike Lynch has a little bit to say. He says, yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Mike Lynch, and I want to tell you about my YouTube channel. Mike, I'm telling Mike about your YouTube channel.
It's a good name. It's a good, strong name. Works on
He's
YouTube.
doing well there, isn't he? I play a lot of video games and review them, and some movies too. Check out my YouTube channel at Mike Lynch. He's not the ukulele player, so don't get him confused. He makes that very clear in his old ad reads. Also, if you want to get this audio early, head over to patreon.com/mcfixer. Audio's $3, video's $4. Why would you not want to see the video? You see mine and Kev's beautiful faces each week.
See up my nose this week.
Yeah, exactly. Let's jump in straight away. What's been in your box this week? So what have you been playing? We'll start with our guest. Mike, what have you been playing this week?
What have I been playing this week? Well, like quite a lot of what I end up doing is going back to play old games that I've kind of already played.
Woo.
And I was rediscovering the joy of Saints Row 2, which I don't know if you guys have played Saints Row 2, right?
Yeah, of course I have.
I'm like increasingly convinced that is like the best sandbox around. Like, I understand GTA is great, it's great quality, love GTA to bits, but there's so much you can do in Saints Row 2. Just the number of activities, the variety of activities. The entire thing was campaign co-op, so you could play with your mate, and that's how I played it the first time around, and it was absolutely the best way to play. Just the character customization, all that stuff's awesome. So I had to go back and grab a bit of footage for our video that actually went out today. I was doing that at 2 a.m. last night, which is probably why I got bags under my eyes. But even at 2 a.m. when I was on a mission to get some particular footage, I just really enjoyed that game, and it is £9 on Xbox Live. I had to buy it.
Is it backwards compatible?
Yeah, no, it's not backwards compatible at the moment. I was playing on the 360, but they should totally make it backwards compatible.
Definitely.
Jeez, the 360, that dead system.
Yeah, right.
I ain't spoke about that in ages. No, I'm joking. Kev keeps banging on about it because he's just a cheapskate.
Yep. I upgraded to my Xbox One like 6 months ago.
We got there in the end, Kev, didn't we?
Eventually.
But we went up, so you've got this shiny new console, Kevin. What did you have me playing this week?
Borderlands 1.
Yeah.
Really?
Amazing.
I was like, come on.
That
so
is
good.
back compat, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not turning on my 360 again. It's not happening. No, but I was like, Kev, let's jump on Xbox. What are we going to play? Like, we got to play something together this week. Oh, I really fancy playing Borderlands. I was like, oh, perfect. I need to do the DLC on number 2 for the Handsome Jack collection. Let's play the pre-sequel. Oh, I've got all this to play. No. Kev wants to play Borderlands 1.
Retro.
It wasn't that I wanted to play Borderlands 1. It's that I used to game share with someone, and I had the Handsome Collection, but then I changed my game sharer, so now I haven't got the Handsome Collection. So the only game I had, and I really fancied playing some Borderlands, so I was like, well, it's Borderlands 1 or nothing.
Right.
So it's not a bad game, it's just the hit markers are a bit rubbish on it.
Yeah.
The hit markers are terrible.
I didn't get on with Borderlands, I must admit, because I really struggle with that kind of the numbers stuff, the numbers coming out of things.
Oh, I love it.
No, it's
I'm addicted.
something about it, like I actually, and people hate me for this, but I actually preferred Dead Island came out around the same time, and I like Dead Island because at the very least you could like run a zombie over and it would definitely stay down. Like whereas Borderlands, it felt like you were constantly, if your gun was a bit underpowered, you would just end up like chipping away, and I'd get bored of it. They improved it a bit for Borderlands 2 in the pre-sequel, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
2 is amazing. I love 2.
2 is the best in the series.
Do you know what? I just find the humour in those games really good as well. Tiny Tina is
so well
hilarious.
So well written.
Yeah. What else you been playing, Kev? Because you kept banging on about some game called Halo. I don't know.
Yeah, as everyone listening knows, I brought the Master Chief Collection finally.
Nice.
And I've been playing through all the Halos. And I've got around to Halo 4 and I completed it. And that game, the story is incredible.
Really?
I can't believe I left it this long. The story, the music, the new enemy design, the new weapons. It's absolutely incredible. I've not touched the multiplayer because I'm not really a Halo multiplayer guy. But the campaign alone was worth it. It was absolutely incredible.
Kev, I fell asleep hearing you talk about Halo because I don't care. So are you going to buy 5 now, though? Is that like the...
I don't know. Everyone I've spoken to has said that number 5 is a bit dog shit.
But you've played the rest. You've played the rest of them.
Yeah, you're committed now, man. You've
you've done 1 to 4. You've got to do 5.
Ross spoiled it for me a bit as well, and if what he says is true, it's sort of going to ruin the previous 4 games, the story from those.
Wow,
so.
that bad?
I don't know if I should spoil it on the show, so I'm
no,
not going to say anything.
Don't even do it. I ain't looking to get shouted at by nobody. What about, Mike, anything else you've been playing apart from Saints Row?
Wow,
anything for work that you're allowed to talk about?
Cuphead. I watched that video.
I see you playing Cuphead, yeah.
Played a bit of Cuphead, played a bit of We Happy Few, actually. I think We Happy Few is kind of interesting because a lot of people thought, from the E3 conference, where it was it looked like a kind of Bioshock narrative, sort of story-based type thing. And actually, it's much more of a kind of survival, like a really weird social survival type thing, so that was quite interesting. And yet, Cuphead's amazing, so...
Go on, Kev.
No, I was just going to say, with We Happy Few,
yes,
we actually got a press release of it as well, and they did say that they'd cut a lot of the narrative out, so I think they're saving it for the final game, so that's why the narrative's missing at the moment.
Yeah, it's still game preview, isn't it? So there's a bit of time for them to fix it. Game preview is such a weird one, because once it sort of ends up on game preview, we kind of look at it, and then it's quite hard to keep track of what's been going on. Like, for instance, The Long Dark, which was one of the first games to come out on game preview. They've updated that massively, apparently. Apparently it's a totally different game, and I haven't had time to go back and sort of check it out, but I've heard it's way, way improved.
I try not to mess with too many game preview games, because I feel like... And I'm an achievement whore.
Right.
So if there ain't achievements... I very rarely turn on my PlayStation because of that reason. Trophies are not the same, unfortunately. But if there ain't achievements, I'm just not interested. So if there's any way they can implement achievements, I'm all in for... I'll play Ark, because I've been waiting to play Ark. I know that's out now, and I still didn't buy it, because,
That's why I've got my Windows phone.
Oh, come on. Come on,
Achievements
Kev.
on my games.
Even I don't have one of those.
So I just... it's a weird one. I do want to play We Happy Few, like Kev said. We did get codes, but I'm still like... how long is it, roughly? Do you know, mate?
I have no idea, honestly. Like, we only played for maybe an hour and a half or so not a huge amount of time with it yet. I've got a code for it, I just haven't had a chance to fire it up. On that subject, how do you, and you guys may have covered this already, but how do you feel about the Hitman episodes? Because that's sort of like game preview, but not. The full game's coming out, and I know a lot of people are kind of boycotting it until the disc version comes out.
See, you got the wrong host. My other host, the Scotsman himself, Ross Miller, who's left us and died, unfortunately. He
hasn't literally died. Don't joke about that.
Good. Okay.
Hey, if he's not
took
here,
a real
Kev,
dark
anymore,
turn.
No. If he's not here anymore, he's dead to me. All right. He's left us for bigger and better things.
Okay.
God. But he loved it. He really loved the way it was in bite-sized. I'm not a Hitman guy, to be honest with you. So it doesn't interest me, the whole contract thing. But just I play Borderlands, not Borderlands, Telltale games. They're episodic.
Yeah, it's true.
What's the difference?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get.
I think it's just different ways for people to consume their content.
Yeah, I agree entirely. And actually, for me, it works out quite a lot better. And I think we've put quite a lot of Hitman on the channel. I mean, partly that's because it's a game that kind of rewards different styles of play, and because there's 3 of us and we all have quite different styles, that makes for really good videos. But actually, the fact that it's been in bite-sized chunks means we've probably put more out than we would have done, because if it had just come out on a disc, we'd probably have played it like once, maybe twice, and then kind of left it. But I think the fact that it's a sort of event every time it comes out means we've actually stuck loads of it on the channel, and it helps that we like it.
Those sort of games have like that water cooler effect where like when you go into the office you'll chat about that previous episode, sort of like the Telltale games.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Kev, you're talking about Office like we've got one of those.
Shh, they don't know that.
Well,
my bad.
I don't have one. We've got 1.7 million subscribers, and I'm sitting in my living room, which is where I make a bunch of our videos. Like we are not an office-based thing by any stretch of the imagination.
Wait, so you're telling me at 1.7 million,
Yes.
still no Office?
No, we go to a studio every week to shoot Show of the Week.
That makes
and
sense. Show of the Week, yeah.
And the features that we do on a Thursday. But the rest of the time, I'm just sitting here in my like racing chair type thing, and in my office.
Best place to be.
Yeah, exactly. It's comfy. It's got excellent lumbar support, Kev. And that's where I make the videos. So, and we do like all the editing ourselves and stuff as well. So it's pretty intense.
How much do you hate editing? Because I really hate it.
It can be a pain in the arse. It depends what you're doing, really. Like if it's quite boring, but part of it's like if I'm bored editing it, I do wonder whether the video is going to be any good either, because I'm like, I figure it should be keeping me entertained. But obviously you have to keep going through it, so it kind of loses a bit of its sheen. But sometimes you're editing something and you're really going for it, and you're trying some interesting things, and you're putting some interesting titles in, and then it can be kind of fun because you see it come together. But yeah, it's probably my least favourite bit of the job. I enjoy the writing. I enjoy mucking about on camera, like in the studio. And I suppose editing's the bit you've got to do to get that out to the people.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hire Kev one day, and then he's gonna work for me and be my editor.
I see. Yeah, I think I've heard a lot of YouTubers do that these days. Actually,
damn straight. I ain't looking to be editing my own video. That's too much hard work. Alright, let's get into the news, because we ain't gonna get to it. I could talk to you for hours. This is the problem. So I might skip some of this news I've even got here. But Xbox Live Gold members can play Rainbow Six Siege for free this weekend only. So if you're not listening to this when it's tomorrow, I guess, for non-patrons, from the Thursday the 28th of July to the 31st of July. Mike, have you played any of Rainbow Six Siege?
Yes, I love it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Rainbow Six. Particularly
you're talking my language now, sir.
So I used to play a lot of Vegas and Vegas 2 with my buddy Pete.
Okay.
He lives in the States now, so basically the only time we get to socialise is on Xbox Live. So we have a few key games. We're big racing game fans as well, so we play Forza and things like that. But Rainbow Six, Vegas, and Vegas 2 we always used to play. And yeah, so Siege basically has just picked that straight up. We just go in, co-op terrorist hunt, stick it to the hardest difficulty level, and get absolutely mullered. But we keep smashing our heads against it until we beat it.
It's so hard.
Yeah,
it's
tough.
so hard. Now, Kevin Tarney,
Yes.
also known as the Cheapskate on the podcast.
Yes.
Is this your reason to play it with me? Now you have an excuse.
Well, I can't refuse now, can I? Because it's free. I haven't got an excuse. So yeah, I will download. It's one of those
if someone
games.
offers to stick you in the eye with a knife or something for free, you don't have to take them up on the offer. I just point that out.
You do with Kev.
I have been eyeing this game up for a while, and this is the perfect excuse for me to finally try it. Apparently Xbox are putting it on sale as well at the same time, which is a pretty smart move. So if you like the game, you can then go on and buy it for a bit cheaper than it normally is.
You're saying that as if you're a news writer or something, Kev.
Yeah,
how'd you know all that information? Go. Outlives.net. Alright, Lego Dimensions. I'll put this one on there for myself, I've got to be honest with you. So, Lego Dimension is introducing new waves, 7 to 9, with new expansions. The first expansion is a Ghostbusters story pack, and if you haven't seen it, there are the new portals that you can put the Lego pieces on. They look so cool.
Right, it's the.
Have any of you seen them?
It's the
No.
Is it the? Am I getting confused with the shop from Ghostbusters? Is that right, or something else? No, I'm.
No, it's the shop. You're
Is it
right.
the shop?
I think you're right.
Like the Chinese food place or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the photo I saw anyway. Unless someone's just bamboozled me. They got that one, and then they've got the Fantastic Beast story pack thing coming out as well. Which that one's perfect for me and my fiance because she loves Harry Potter. So I can just buy her that, and then hopefully she'll let me carry on playing.
Nice.
Something I've noticed about these as well is they're actually introducing a load of 80s franchises as well.
Yeah, it's
so
awesome.
like, if you've got kids, it's the perfect reason to introduce them to all these cool
Yeah.
programs like the Gremlins, and even though that probably scare them, but so what.
It's good, yeah. I mean,
Forget your
they've
kids.
sort of done like Back to the Future and things like that, and yeah, I think that's the key. Certainly, starting out, it was kind of appealing to people who like love those kind of 80s franchises. But yeah, obviously, kids love Lego, so it's a perfect way for people to get together and play those things.
Yeah, kids love Lego, not Corey.
Hey, I've got an entire box of Lego Dimensions upstairs, like the whole lot, all of it, pretty much.
It's bad because I go to my nephew's house and he's like, I'll sit there and just play with it on my own.
Yeah.
And he's like, Corey, that is not for you. That's mine. That doesn't go there. And he's got the Minecraft Lego, which I think is totally pointless because Minecraft is Lego.
Yeah.
But whatever. But yeah, he's got that and he hates it when I play with his creepers. He really don't like it. He's not happy about that. But yeah, Kev, are you going to buy Lego Dimensions eventually?
Hell no.
Nah, you don't like Lego games, do you?
Well, I can't say I hate them.
Did you get any hate last week? Because I got some emails I got some tweets come through like, Kevin don't like Lego. Are we sure about him? We can get a new co-host, right?
Really? No one sent me anything.
I had some tweets.
Jesus.
Yeah, I definitely had some tweets.
Oh,
It's
Kev, I'm
only
starting to feel
Lego.
sorry for you now. I feel like you might
Yeah.
be
No, this is what happens. I get
The funny
bullied
thing-
every week.
The funny thing is, mate, Kev's the new guy on the podcast.
right.
Because I had the Scotsman for 37 weeks, or 36 weeks, I should say. Kev's just come on.
Right.
He gets the special guest episode with you. He's in the money,
Yeah.
really.
Made it.
I'm feeling a lot of
that's
chemistry
what-
just between the three of us. So
Oh, well. Hey, if you want to come on as a permanent, you just let me know, sir. You're on. Last but not least, there's a Sonic level pack, which who cares about Sonic anymore? Apparently everyone, because of the new games that got
right,
announced.
I care about Sonic now for the first time in ages. Yeah.
I missed this. What is this new game?
They're Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
It is, yeah. It's a proper old school pixel art 2D style Sonic game. So they've realised that
okay.
every time they try and make Sonic 3D, it's awful and unbearable.
Yeah.
So they've just gone back to making the games like they did like 20, 30 years ago, which is fine by me.
And everybody loves nostalgia.
Yeah,
so
it's true. It's true.
The first Sonic I played was the one built into the Master System 2, I think it was.
Chaos? Sonic Chaos? Are we talking about?
No idea. No idea. It's so long,
Answers
but
on
I
a
played that
postcard.
game. I played that game over and over, and it was great. Yeah, going back to the 2D style is definitely the way forward.
especially with a game like Sonic.
Yeah, it had a little, because I'm a massive car game nerd as well, it had a little reference to Daytona in there as well, which made me like way
Oh,
happy. when it
nice.
showed
I
up.
remember that game.
Yeah,
Daytona.
exactly, yeah. It's probably my
I
favourite
used to
racing
love that
game of
game.
all time. It's so good.
Damn. Next piece of news is former PlayStation exec Adam Boyce has joined Killer Instinct developer Iron Galaxy, which is interesting news.
Yeah.
I knew he was leaving, but I didn't know where to. So this is interesting to know now where he's
Why is
gone.
he leaving? It's the
So
first
he-
I've heard of it.
You're meant to be a news editor.
I know.
Kev. Come on, dude. Yeah, he left from the 8th of August.
Yeah, I
think it's
suspect
correct.
what happened was, you know, his job was like looking after indie developers, right? I'm thinking of the right guy.
Yeah, third
He
party.
probably saw how much fun all these like indie developers were having, like working from coffee shops and like growing luxuriant beards and stuff. And then he thought, I'll actually like a bit of this. I'm tired of being a suit working for Sony. I'm gonna spend all my time, drinking artisan coffees. I think that.
Adam Boyce's best moment was obviously with Shuei Yoshida when they did the video about use games
sharing,
policy.
Yeah.
That was the mic drop moment of this is how you do it. Done.
Yeah,
and I was like, I respect you from that point onwards.
We just started. Well, we've been going about a year at that point on Outside Xbox, and we were like, "Oh, brilliant! That E3 was a fun time." But actually, it was okay. Like, you know, we've never been we're Xbox fans, but I don't think we're Xbox fanboys. If that's a distinction
that's
that you can,
100% with us as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we're prepared to like call them out when they're doing something wrong, and it was a weird E3, man, because like
They were doing everything wrong.
yeah, exactly. It just was not going well for them.
But we got a saying on the podcast, which is in Phil we trust.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because we trust implicity. I think I used that word rightly.
Yeah.
If I didn't, someone will call me
Nearly.
out. Yeah, I did. Well done, Kev. Thank you. But he's just doing everything right at the moment.
Yeah, he's really like turning that super tanker around, right? You know, and I think he's a gamer. He knows what he's doing, and yeah, like you say, everything's been pretty legit since he took over. I mean, you know, I don't want to put all the blame for Xbox One's shaky launch on one person, but Don Matrick, like there was some really suspect decision making there, and but
He
yeah,
wasn't one of the people, was he?
No.
no,
Definitely
I was
not.
at the they had a party immediately after that E3. It was like a Forza themed party, I think, maybe. And honestly, the atmosphere was just so weird. It was almost like a wake. It was really, really like muted.
Oh, God.
And the Shins were playing. Like Phil Spencer comes on and goes, "Hey, everyone, it's the Shins," and everyone's like, "Oh, yeah, brilliant."
Yeah.
But like, I was standing like 6 feet away from Don Matrick, and I just wanted to go up and shake him and go, "What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?"
Why?
Yeah,
Why'd you do this to us?
So, yeah, it was bizarre times. But I think, from our perspective, like, it's kind of weird because I think, if we were to do it all again, it might be a bit strange to set up a YouTube channel that's just about Xbox. At the time, 360 was like riding high and stuff like that. But I think even during those like dark times, people came to us as like a place where they could, get away from all the PlayStation fanboys telling them they were idiots.
Go and hide in the corner with their friends.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason why we've got an audience.
Yeah, find the Xbox guys who are their like family and who aren't telling them off for buying a console. And
I find, especially with people like your channel, and there's lots of others out there, but Xbox relate, like especially, there isn't as many because you always go with the popular console.
Yeah, sure.
But there's such an audience out there, and they're hungry for content. Which is, I'm very thankful. We launched this, and I was thinking, all right, we'll get a couple people. Like my mum will listen. It's perfect. We'll be
like
we
mum.
get emails every
I assume
week.
she's still
yeah,
listening.
hi mum. Yeah, she's still watching. Trust me. She needs to know what I'm doing with my life.
Right.
She keeps telling me. But we get emails each week. There's so many passionate Xbox fans out there, and like me and Ross said, we used to say we love being in second because we have to work harder for our money.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Competition's good, right? And I think if in that situation Microsoft had absolutely smashed it and Sony had kind of dropped back again, then they'd be in real trouble. Sony would be in real trouble because the 360, beat the PS3 fairly soundly in terms of sales and things like that worldwide. And if Sony had been on the back foot again, they might be starting to think about pulling out of the, of this console because it's an expensive business if you're not winning, basically. And so I'm sort of glad, it's good for consumers because it means that there's competition and that, like you say, people have to work hard for your money, and that applies to Sony. Even though they're in first place, they've got to retain that lead. But we're heading straight back into another console war, like, the Scorpio and the Neo, right?
Neo.
That's another console war. Like, don't let them pretend it's not. It's another fight, and it's after the longest console generation we've had in a long time, which was the 360 PS3. They're now going for a super short one, and so you'll all be buying new consoles in like a year's time.
Well, apart from Kev's already said he's
there's
not
another
touching
console war coming before that one.
Oh yeah,
the mini console war, the Nintendo Mini and the Sega Mini.
Yeah.
Who's going to win that battle?
Well,
we've got an email about that later on, which is going to be fun to talk about.
I'll hold my tongue.
Yes, thank you. This is a funny story that I found on IGN, which was Xbox 360 was nearly called Xbox 3. During an interview, IGN Unfiltered, which Ryan McCaffrey does with mainly Xbox people, but he does it with everybody.
He's great.
And
he's probably one of the best interviewers.
That's probably the only reason why I go back to IGN weekly since Greg Miller left. Because I'm a huge fanboy for Greg Miller. That's someone I am a fanboy for. I'll make that clear. Mike, you're lucky you weren't Greg Miller on the bus.
All right, you would have made
I'm
out.
gonna be straight. Let's just say.
I wouldn't put it past him.
But yeah, and while Microsoft ended up naming the console Xbox 360, it was considered to be optioned Xbox 3 because they didn't want to. It won't be 2 because they didn't want to be compared to the PS3. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the.
You can't just skip numbers. I know they like to skip numbers, like skipping 9 for Windows, but you can't just skip numbers. That's not how it works.
Yeah, look, that's why it's called 360 though. Because they didn't want an Xbox 2, going up against a PS3 because it seems like it's one worse, whatever one is. All right, so that's why it was a 360. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me that they toyed with Xbox 3.
So what about now, though? We're Xbox One. I know it's Xbox One all-in-one. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. So what's the next one going to be?
Xbox 2.
Finally
going to bite the bullet and go for Xbox 2.
They're going to bite the bullet finally and go to number 2.
Xbox Zero, right? That's what like Japanese films do when they do like a prequel or something. Go for Xbox Zero.
I feel like they should have just went with Xbox for this one.
Yeah, I guess so. There's a couple of reasons for the one. It's like you say, it's sort of all-in-one entertainment, but it's also they wanted it to be. This is a really weird, like this is such a Microsoft thing, but they wanted it to be in like HDMI 1 on your TV to take care of like TV and all those things as well. So it's one of those things where like these execs get a PowerPoint and they've got to fill a bunch of slides with like stuff, and they just go mad and they start adding all this like random buzzwordy stuff, and that's how you end up with this sort of thing happening, basically.
Crazy.
Makes
Crazy.
perfect
But
sense now.
if you haven't checked out the IGN Unfiltered interview Ryan McCaffrey did, please do. I don't work for IGN, but he does some fabulous work over there. Let's have a look. Witcher developer would love to make PS4 and Xbox One cross-network play for Gwent. Nah, Rocket League's already come out. Jeremy Dunham over at Rocket League at Psyonix has already come out and said they're ready to go. All they need is PlayStation's yes, and they are ready to go. Nah, other people are coming out saying it. Is this just going to put more pressure on Sony to say yes, or make them scared and go absolutely no?
I don't think it's going to happen. I just can't see it happening. Like,
oh, don't say that. You're making me sad.
Yeah, I know. But like, imagine the mess if there was for some reason PS4 players had an advantage over Xbox One players online or something like that. There's so many, because it's two completely different systems, two completely different code bases. Even though it's the same game, there's always the possibility that there'll be sort of exploits and things that will favour one or the other. And I don't think anyone wants to get into that kind of, they're already in a fight together. They don't want to get into that. So maybe that Sony are the ones who apparently have to say yes, but I don't imagine Microsoft's super happy about letting people into an Xbox Live system when they're not getting any money. That kind of shared ecosystem.
It's funny because I find it funny that it's sort of like Microsoft's like, yeah, we'll do it, knowing that Sony will be like, no, but it's bad PR for them if they say no. So that Microsoft automatically win.
Yeah.
If they do it, it's like, all right, well, we said it, so we got to do it. But if they don't do it, it's like, hey, we said we'd do it, guys. You can't have a go at us this time.
Yeah.
It ain't our fault.
I think where it might work is if there was a big co-op game. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there was a huge co-op franchise like Left 4 Dead or something, then maybe they'd be able to say, all right, you can't play competitive, but if you want to cooperate, arms around the world, console war is over. Then maybe.
But it's not.
Yeah,
Don't let them fool you.
Still fighting.
See, I thought Microsoft would be the ones who were against cross-network play because PS4 has been proven to be the more powerful system. So those who were on the fence and went over to Xbox because their friends were there could now go over to PS4 and use that system and still play with their friends with the cross-network stuff.
But I sort of feel like Microsoft's whole deal at the moment is like removing reasons to buy an Xbox because of all the Windows 10 stuff,
Play anywhere.
all the Play Anywhere stuff. Like, it's really weird what they're doing, and I assume they have a plan, in Phil we trust and all that. But
yep. Hey, you're welcome every week. I swear, you've got it down to a T already.
But it's it's really. I mean, the whole PC stuff's really, really interesting. Like, I love it in concept. I've not really done a lot of sort of, I didn't play Quantum Break on PC, for example. I didn't really play Quantum Break at all. But
you're a monster.
I'm sorry.
Sir, a monster.
I'm sorry. But I like it in concept because I do have PCs and I've played PCs for a while, and I like the idea of being able to play on my console. I'm never going to stop sitting in front of the sofa and playing on a console because there's a lot of benefits to that. But if I'm on my laptop and I'm somewhere else, to be able to carry on my story and things like that. But I want it on more than just, at the moment it's just going to be first party stuff. Microsoft developed things or Microsoft affiliated studios, but I'd love it on stuff like Fallout and things like that as well. That kind of cross save game type thing would be kind of awesome.
I know a lot of people are saying as well that because the games are going on PC as well as Xbox, that's a bad thing, but the PC and Xbox experience are completely different, because with a console you just sit in front of it, you turn it on, you play. PC, there's so much fiddling about, updates, stuff like that, and I think it's not as bad as people are making out it to be.
Yeah, I think there's still a bit of kind of just fear of the unknown, right? There's a lot of people who are just sort of terrified that their exclusives are all going to go away, but you still need to buy a giant PC, right, to make this stuff run at anything better than what your Xbox would do for 300 quid or 250 or whatever they're selling the S for these days. And I'll be buying a Scorpio because I want to play the games in the best quality, and I can't be bothered to faff around with drivers anymore.
It's just too much. As well, if they get Oculus to work as well with that Scorpio and it's just plug and play, that's going to be a big seller as well, be a big reason to buy it.
Yeah, I suspect they'll do that. It seems like instead of developing their own VR headset, why not just make a more powerful console that can run Oculus stuff?
Well, they've already got a partnership with them, haven't they? Because they ship a Xbox controller with every Oculus, so there's obviously the partnership there already.
Speaking of the Xbox S, the reveal date has been revealed for the Xbox One S, 500 gig and 1 terabyte. Aaron Greenberg revealed the release date for the Xbox One 500 gig Kev, you wrote this story. You're boring. August 23rd at $299 and $349 respectively. Now, is anybody picking up an Xbox S?
No.
Oh, just
No.
Look, I'm in a very unique position. So me and my fiance both have Xbox Ones.
Right.
So the plan. This is what we're gonna do. This is my plan, and she knows it, but she's not happy about it.
Right.
So I'm gonna trade in her Xbox One,
Yeah.
buy an Xbox S, then give her
He's
my
such
old
a good
Xbox.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Shut up. I got this. Be quiet. I'm gonna give her my old Xbox, so I get an Xbox S,
Nice.
and then when the Scorpio comes out,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take her old Xbox One,
Nice.
which will be my old one. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
It's a complicated story. We're getting there.
Yeah.
And then trade that in, give her the Slim, and I'll take the Scorpio.
Nice. Fair enough.
So basically, he's giving his girlfriend the crap and he's getting all the good
Yeah.
stuff.
It's like hand-me-downs, isn't it?
Look, I'm trying to do this for a living.
Yeah, I
like
know.
Patreon.com/MCFixer.
Nice.
No, do you know what I mean? Like, she plays her Xbox like I get in trouble because I'm like, so are you gonna ever finish Tomb Raider? And she's like, I'll finish it when I'm good and ready. I'm like, all right. You just ain't gonna remember how to play the game, and you're gonna go, Corey, how'd you do this part? And I'm not very good at the old show me how to do it without taking the controller off me and doing it.
Yeah. I know that.
Have you ever experienced this at all?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. It's difficult just not to wrestle it away and do it first time, but then they don't learn anything. But then it's really difficult to vocalize gameplay stuff. You can't be like, well, you just want to move the left thumbstick just this amount and then hit this button at this exact time. Doesn't work. So
Yeah, exactly. Kev,
Yes.
you've been quiet because I feel like I'm talking too much.
It's alright, you're excited, you can talk.
Appreciate it, Kev. Appreciate it. You wrote this story about Xbox One gamertags can expire now.
Yes.
what?
So did you hear about this, Mike?
I didn't.
So if you've got a gamertag that's not been used in 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
Xbox are repurposing the gamertag.
Fair enough.
Alright, so I had a couple people speak to me like, they can't do this, I paid for that, I changed my gamertag to that. Now, they make a good point there. If I pay for MC Fixer to change my name to MC Fixer, they can't take it away from me if I don't use it in 5 years.
I guess.
How
Well,
Right.
it's in
dare
the
they?
service agreement, so they can.
Yeah, well, do you know what, Kev? Service agreements, I don't read those.
It's
as
a
you know.
contract.
You know full well, sir, I did not read that service
No one's
agreement.
got time for Eulers. Never read a Euler ever. I guess. But how much do you pay to change your gamertag? Like
£8.
yeah, and if you're like not using it for 5 years, that's a long time, isn't it?
The thing is, I think this is going to affect those people that went over from 360 to PS4.
Yeah.
Whereas, because now they've left their Xbox behind, that gamer tag is just going to be sitting there.
Mm.
Whereas, but the thing is, if they sign into their Microsoft account as well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they still keep it. So, I don't see anyone really not signing into their
Yeah,
account for 5 years.
You would have to be like actively not using a PC, not like logging in to anything at all.
A lot of things. I know, but I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, sure.
If I pay for it, I should keep
Consumer
it. Alright?
rights superstar.
Exactly. I don't care what the agreement says. I say I keep it.
Yeah, well, I've got my old OXM one's going to expire fairly soon, I guess. Then.
No.
So if anyone wants OXM Mighty 7, they can have it in like a year's time. 'Cause I haven't touched it.
Yoink! I've already claimed it.
However, don't worry, you don't lose any of your purchases content, which is pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, right. That would be outrageous because
Nah.
that wouldn't be fair. So what happens? You just when you sign in and you've let your gamertag lapse, you just have to choose a new one, presumably, I guess.
I'm guessing so. Hey, it's a
Yes.
free way to get your gamertag changed.
Yeah.
Wait 5 years.
Exactly.
Boom.
Come back with
You
a
just gotta
big
wait
grey
5
beard.
years.
You're like, finally, I've saved £8.
And you call me a cheapskate.
I'm just putting it out there for the people, Kev.
I'm so
I
gonna
didn't
do
say
that
I
now.
didn't say I was doing it. That's you. That's what you're gonna do now. I'm not using this for 5 years. I need to change it to I love MC Fixer. Like Games of Gold has been revealed. Warriors. All right, I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm gonna be
is it?
straight.
Orochi.
Yeah, Orochi 3 Ultimate is available from the 1st of August to the 31st of August. WWE 2K16 from the 16th of August to the 15th of September. Spelunky, which is a great
Best game ever.
August 1st to August 15th. And Beyond Good and Evil HD from the 16th of August to the 31st. Now, I see people bitching. Yeah, I said it. Bitching about Games with Gold this month.
Have you seen the PS Plus games?
Look, Kev,
They're pretty bad.
Don't speak blasphemy on this podcast. I told you. No, I did see the PS Plus games. Now, if you want to compare, because we were, to be fair, as we all know, Xbox fans, we did used to get it bad. It was bad. We did used to get really crappy games with gold games. But I saw people bitching about these ones, and I was like, I think IGN, I know IGN is not the best scale to go off of, but whatever. That's where I go sometimes, alright? So I think IGN gave both the Xbox One games 8.8s, or in the 8 ranges.
Right.
So let's say for IGN inflation, we call it a 7, alright? You know, can't trust. I don't trust nobody as far as I can throw.
Yeah.
Apart from you, Mike, I trust you.
Thanks. I've not played
alright,
Warriors of Orochi. Did they give that an 8?
Yeah.
Wow. I must
Sound
admit.
It's
like
basically Dynasty Warriors, isn't it? So it
Yeah.
deserves like a 10, to be fair.
It's
Dynasty
10 out of
Warriors
10.
are the best games ever.
Yeah, alright.
Just sit there for 10 minutes smashing the button. That's what you do. I love it.
And a lot of people heard what I had to say about WWE 2K16, which
Did you not enjoy
not
it?
very
bad.
good in my opinion.
I like the documentary stuff, like all the Stone Cold Steve Austin documentary stuff was
The
pretty-
universe
yeah.
stuff, not the universe stuff. The yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. They're always good, but I felt like I'm a huge wrestling game fan. Maybe not wrestling fan altogether
Sure.
anymore, but the career modes used to be special. Like the Road to WrestleManias, if you remember those, like used to have one for CM Punk, one for this person, one for that person, and you'd have a created character one.
Yeah.
But now you just get put in the universe thing, and it's like, oh, fight Brock Lesnar on Superstars. That wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
We all know Brock Lesnar's taking steroids, so he can't fight.
Yeah.
It's a game.
I think I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him improve it a bit more. Like I used to love wrestling games, but I used to like the more sort of actiony ones. Like the old SmackDown
Yeah.
games were really good fun because it was a bit more arcadey. I'm not like
Where you got hit by a car every 2
yeah,
seconds.
yeah, exactly.
In
yeah,
a cutscene.
being driven by Rikishi or something.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
But I kind of like that arcadey style, and as they've got more tech, they've become simulations of a pretend
Sim.
sport, which is kind of a weird thing in my view.
5-star matches.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to pin the guy after stunnering him 20 times.
But if you're complaining about games with gold this month and you haven't played Spelunky, then you don't know what you're talking about because Spelunky's the
That's-
I've not played Spelunky.
It's
That's
so
going to be the
good.
first one I download.
You're so lucky.
so good. Have you played it on the Vita, Corey? It looks
No, I
beautiful
haven't.
on the Vita. On that little OLED screen. Beautiful.
Ooh, how'd you know I got an OLED though?
Well, you might not have done. Yeah, you might not.
Damn
be
straight I got an OLED.
Yeah.
What do I look like, a chump? Come
OLED
on.
OGs, right? It's
I think
so
you're
good.
the only two in the UK that brought them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, trust.
that's quite a coincidence you met each other.
I'm a real
Yeah.
yeah, astronomically improbable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Spelunky, and I've never played Beyond Good and Evil.
No, me neither
And-
actually. It's a blind
Oh,
spot.
It's meant to be a pretty decent RPG.
It's supposed to be good.
That's all I know.
So
about it.
I look forward to playing those on the channel. Let's get to alright, Mike. Before I say the name of this segment, I didn't name it. All right,
Okay.
it was
You
a
did.
fan. It was a fan that named it. So we're about to jump into Fixer's sack. All right.
Right.
So
Is the room in there or?
there's definitely room. Don't you worry.
Plenty of room.
The first email that comes, I don't know where it comes from because I haven't got to the end. So it says, "Hi MC Fixer, it's been a while since I put anything inside your sack. I apologise for this.
All right.
Rest assured, I'm still listening every week and enjoying the show. I would like to propose to the My Xbox and Me community to decide on what game we're going to play. It's a long email. He's interested in playing Titanfall 2, Gears of War 4, Forza Horizon 3, and Battlefield 1. It's new games we can build a community in and all play together. So, perfect. And that is from Proper BO. Proper BO! We all took the mickey. His name's Proper BO, so we assumed he had a bad body
Right.
armor. No, it was about Proper Bowl Selector.
Right.
So-
yeah. Okay.
Which makes more sense, but me and Ross, we absolutely were creasing when we read the name. We was like, what is that about?
Fair enough.
Out of all those games, Kev, you actually
Yes.
have to buy one of these games now because we've been
Right.
asked to.
Okay.
Titanfall 2.
Yeah, I mean, I've played like an hour of number one. It's a fun game. It seems very. I've played it before.
No,
I don't know. It
you've
just
never
seems like a
played it
generic
before.
first-person shooter.
No, you're totally wrong, Kev. When that game come out, I loved it for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Exactly, and then it died
is-
because
Yeah,
there
but
wasn't
you've
much
played it
to
for an hour.
That's the
Yeah,
the
but-
Titanfall experience was everyone loved it, Yeah, and like you say, played it for 2 weeks, and then for some reason, it was like some kind of cosmic event where everyone just stopped playing it, and no one knows why. It was like something out of a sci-fi movie. And then the DLC came out, and I went back to it, and I'm like, why did I ever stop playing this? It's really good. And then I stopped playing it after 2 weeks again. I don't know what happened.
Yep.
That was my experience. I played it for an hour, I was enjoying it, and I've just not gone back to it.
It's a weird thing.
It just doesn't seem to hook you, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's a weird. Yeah, I don't think Titanfall 2 is the game to build the community. Gears of War 4, I'm all over this.
Really?
I used to, Mike, you better not be shaking your head, sir. I used to be a king.
Yeah.
An absolute king at Gears of War.
Fair enough.
I used to have really bad internet, like really bad internet.
Oh man.
And
That's probably why you was king.
Hey, wait. I used to
was
be
a
able to
lucky one.
literally, if I got host, the whole team would freeze, and I'd just walk up to everyone and chainsaw.
That doesn't mean you're good.
King of the games. No, I played the beta and I absolutely loved it. So
I like Gears. I like Gears single player. Like I'm not that bothered about the multiplayer. I can't. It's like a very specific skill set, and if you don't have time to commit to that skill set, like you're just awful and you get absolutely wrecked.
Twitch, jump off walls, Twitch.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the only skills that you need is to jump forward with a shotgun.
Right.
That
Damn
seems to
straight.
be how I died every time.
Yeah. But I'm looking
Kev,
forward to
if
the
you play
story.
with me, I'll carry you. Yeah, the story looks awesome.
And it's co-op, you can play it with your mates. It's good. I actually really liked Gears Judgment. I was talking to one of my mates about Gears Judgment.
Jesus.
Yeah, right. Are you about to get angry? Because
No, it's just that's not a very popular choice.
No,
That's just not a popular opinion.
but like that was sort of like a real that's sort of almost killed the Gears franchise. Do you know what I mean? Like for a long time. And I actually thought it was a really good game, but it felt like Gears was sort of clearly something was going wrong with Gears at that point because
I feel like it was on the decline anyway.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed 3, but 3 wasn't amazing like 1 and 2, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it was on the decline, and then it was like, oh, we'll hand it off to somebody else. It's like, no, don't do that ever. We know what happens to games when that happens, and
But it was People Can Fly, right? The guys who made Bulletstorm. I don't know if you played Bulletstorm, but it's
I did play Bulletstorm.
absolutely awesome. I love Bulletstorm so much.
Yeah, Bulletstorm was good.
And there were like shreds of Bulletstorm in there. It was like sort of Gears of War, but with that kind of like almost arcadey, because you could modify each scenario and like up the difficulty for yourself. And I thought it was like a really cool mechanic that should be used in more games.
Yeah, I do agree. It was okay. I'm not going to give it a full yes.
Fair enough.
Your star power doesn't get you that much, sir.
You're the Gears
Forza
expert, so
Forza Horizon 3.
Oh yes, I cannot wait for this one.
It's gonna be really good.
I am a Forza Horizon 2 hardcore player. I love that game so much. I've spent so many hours in it. It's so much fun. And being able to play co-op campaign with your friends is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's gonna be wicked.
Cannot wait.
Is this the one then, Kev?
For me, I don't know actually, because the one below it I'm really excited for as well. But this could be one of them.
I will go with Battlefield 1.
It's going to be huge.
Only because I feel like I'll play Forza and trade it in. If I don't get it digitally. If I don't get a review copy, hint guys, I'll probably buy it, play it, be done with it, and that'll be it. Where with Battlefield, I feel like I'll play the story and then I'll have that on my shelf for a long time. So when everyone wants to come together, we can just do that.
Plus, also, like DICE have been really, really good with Battlefield 4 in releasing stuff after the fact and making DLCs free and things like that. They've really done that kind of like post-sale support thing really, really well. So
that game was totally broke.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they were apologising. It was basically like, just please have all this stuff for free because we're so sorry about the launch. So they might not be quite as generous as Battlefield 1, but they do a really good line in DLC. They kind of mix things up and stuff. So it will give you, like, if you're prepared to pay for a season pass as well, then, sorry, Kev, if that's not your deal. But
damn it, I'm a cheapskate. Damn it!
But if you're prepared to pay for a season pass as well, there's going to be like new stuff coming along. So I guess if you want to build a community for a long time, then yeah, like you say, it's probably a good bet.
Well, I'll be streaming whatever I'm playing, so you find me on twitch.tv/mcfixer. Kev, you can shout out your Twitter at this point.
Yeah, at Don't Shoot Tiny. Also, I've got a question for you both. How long before Battlefield 1 is on EA Access, do you reckon?
I'll
take bets
that's
now.
That's a good question. That is a good question.
I reckon 2 years. I think they're going to try and push it a full 2.
Yeah, I think so as well.
They haven't done that with any title. There's nothing.
I know.
I reckon a year.
I reckon this is going to be really, really popular though.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to like milk it for all it's worth.
This is a real like return to form for the Battlefield series, I think, and like Hardline absolutely wasn't, and Battlefield 4 was a bit broken. So they've kind of showed up at kind of normal intervals on EA Access, but I think with Battlefield 1 they can afford to sort of push it. Has Battlefront arrived on EA Access yet? Presumably not.
No, not yet. No.
I think that's another one where they'll push it back as well. So that'll like set the precedent, I think, probably because it's Star Wars. They're probably not going to give it away for free for a long time. I wouldn't have thought.
I think it's because they've got a lot of DLC plans
tons,
as well.
Yeah.
Well, they've got that DLC stream. They're not going to make it free, are
Exactly,
they?
yeah.
They're just going to keep.
Got to get your Game of the Year edition out as well, right? Who is giving out all these Game of the Year awards? Like, seems like every game is a Game of the Year. Someone's like,
not me.
Someone needs to make that judging panel sit down and have a long, hard look at themselves.
So, just out of interest, what was your Game of the Year last year? We gave it to Tomb Raider.
He says we. He doesn't mean me.
Kev, you weren't on the podcast at that point. I can't do nothing about it. I can't go back in history. I swear.
Get in your time machine.
Marty! The podcast gave it to Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider. That we thought that was a phenomenal game.
I did really enjoy Rise of the Tomb Raider, actually. I'm trying to think about... It all sort of blurs into one, because you're constantly making videos about the next new thing. What did I play?
I think I gave it to Pac-Man.
Pac-Man?
I think I'd just got an Atari at that point.
Yeah.
I know, gave it to Pac-Man.
I really liked...
Don't worry.
I liked Fallout 4. Like, Fallout 4 was, like, really... It was a game I could, like, really lose myself in.
It was between both of those.
But there was a lot of like really good like B-list stuff as well. Like Mad Max was in there, which is like
that's been my so far this year because I played it this year.
You've absolutely made his day.
Yeah.
You've absolutely made his day
so much.
It's great. It's great. It's like really good, and it's not a triple A. I guess it's sort of high budget, but it's just feels a bit sort of gritty and kind of
It's got problems, but the combat and the vehicle stuff is so good that you forgive it. I loved it so much.
The point is, there's no mid-tier anymore. So you've got AAA, indie.
Yeah.
There's no mid-tier, so yeah.
But maybe that's
but Mad Max would be.
Yeah, Mad Max is like the closest we get to mid-tier anymore. It still looks awesome. 100%. It's a beautiful looking game and stuff. But yeah, maybe I just like I like those games that are kind of ambitious, but like a little bit broken and weird, and that's exactly what Mad Max is.
Okie dokie. This is. Hello, my Xbox and me family and guest, Mike. That's you.
Hi.
With Nintendo announcing the release of a SNES Mini, what do you think? Do you think in the future, 10 years or 10 years or so maybe, we could see Xbox do the same thing with the original Xbox? Keep up the good work, your friend and fan, Mr. Moody.
I would say the original Xbox is not like as iconic a console as.
A Mega Drive or a SNES.
A Mega Drive or a SNES or a NES and all that kind of stuff. And I think, what will happen is actually we'll just have, and we're seeing it with backwards compatibility now, we'll just have like an ecosystem and like old sort of Xbox original games and 360 games and Xbox One games are all going to kind of coexist on your console. So it won't be that kind of thing where like, it's really hard to get a hold of, like, you have to get a hold of an old NES and play, you get all the cartridges and stuff. I think pretty soon we'll just have a games collection and we'll have retro stuff in there and we'll have new stuff and it's all HD remakes and things like that. I think it's a really smart move, this little NES thing, but it's only really works for that kind of era of gaming. I think it's gonna. I don't know if we'll get one for Xbox, the original Xbox.
I don't see it, honestly. I don't see it happening. It's like you said, it's everything's backwards compat nowadays.
Yeah.
So I wanna bring my catalogue with me, not buy a. As much as I'd love a tiny little Xbox, that'd be really cool. But yeah, no.
It's the portable is one thing, like being able to play old games on like portable systems and on mobiles and things like that. But if it's on your TV, you'll probably just be running it through your Xbox, whatever number they've chosen.
29 because they've skipped.
It'd be like minus 29.
28.
They've gone back like by minus 29.
Every year, my same prediction for E3 is that Xbox is going to announce backwards compat for the original Xbox game. So I'm guessing that's going to happen eventually. We won't need that little console.
If you say it so much, Kev, just like Last Guardian,
it's going to happen.
Say it so much, it happens.
Well, I did win the last one. I got like 4 of my predictions right or something. So
I knew you'd have to bring that up.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because they're so old, those games now, and like I guess the install base for the original Xbox was much smaller. But I guess Sony are releasing PS2 games. Like I went to Star Wars Celebration and they had Star Wars Race of Revenge there running in HD, and I was like, I remember that game, and that's an old game, PS2 era game that they've kind of brushed up a bit. So maybe if Sony forces their hand by saying, look, this many of the PS2's back catalogue is now available on the PS4, then maybe we will go back to that kind of Xbox original. But a lot of it, the really choice stuff like Halo and things like that, they've made HD remakes of anyway. So
yeah, that's exactly it. Like the thing I've noticed is that old 3D games look a lot worse than old 2D games. So I think they age a lot worse. So I think that's another reason why they're not bringing them forward, because they will need a full remaster or something.
Okie dokie. Let's do the suggestions of the week. This is where we suggest a game to the audience that we've played. I'll go first, so you guys can have some time to think. I was playing 10 Second Ninja X.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody heard of this?
I've heard people rage quitting and wanting to quit life over it. That's about it.
Trust me, it had me like that literally about 10 minutes before
And you're recommending it, don't you like your listeners?
Well, the reason I'm recommending it is because I think it's a good game. It's a side-scroller where your objective is to kill... You have to jump around and kill each... I don't know what they actually are, if I'm honest with you. Now thinking about it, I don't know...
Pixels.
Well, yeah,
pixels.
of course they're... I've got my phone up here because I'm trying... Alright, the object is to get 3 stars. So you have to complete the level as quick as you can by killing these... I don't know what they are, so I'm not even going to put something on there.
Okay.
So but you jump around, you got throwing stars, and yeah, the objective is just to kill everything as quick as you can. And obviously, that in itself is a lot of fun, but add in the trying to whittle your time down. So the first level, I got 1 star, and I was thinking, oh, let me retry, because I'm able to do this. And it was like, for the next star, you need to get 1 second down. So I'm like, oh, that's easy, I can do it. Sat there for about 20 minutes. Like 1 second to shave 1 second off your time. It's like,
yeah.
So but I want to go back. As much as it's hard and kind of annoying because it's hard, because I want to finish the rest of the game. But it keeps me. I'm thinking about it now. Like once we finish this, I'm definitely gonna edit the podcast. I swear, guys, I swear. And then I'm gonna be playing that. So I suggest 10 Second Ninja X.
I think this doesn't need editing. It's all like 100% gold. So
it is
obviously.
Just whack it out there. I've got a 10 Second Ninja T-shirt that they sent me, and it's quite funny because they didn't send it. You're not supposed to wear it on your body. They put the logo right up high on the chest because you're supposed to wrap it around your head like a ninja mask, and they gave me instructions on how to do it. So
that's so cool.
That's quite smart. So well done, those guys. But yeah, the last game I did that sort of thing with was Super Meat Boy, not the T-shirt thing. The trying to cut my time down.
Well, whatever you get up to in your spare time, your business.
But yeah, so like I remember Super Meat Boy. I remember just getting into a little battle with one of my friends on one of the levels, and it started out and like my time for that level was like 50 seconds or something. I'm like, surely you can't get much quicker than that. And then we got into this fight where we were trying to beat each other's time, and by the end, I think we were able to complete that level in 6 seconds. It was absolutely nuts. And it was just all to do with timing and muscle memory and things like that. And so I love that kind of like, really sort of Twitch platforming or like beat 'em ups and stuff.
Speaking of timed like achievements and stuff, did you ever do the Mile High Club on Veteran on COD 4?
I
Nope.
tried it. I don't know if I did it on Veteran.
I managed to do it. I'm not kidding. I must have sat in front of that computer screen for like 8 hours solid just trying to finish that. It's ridiculous for like 10G or something silly.
Yeah, it's like a lost art
10G.
in video game design, right? It's like building stuff that you can repeat. I don't know if you remember, there was a game years ago that tried it with like a shooter, a bit like Mile High Club. It's a game called The Club. It was like a Sega Bizarre Creations shooter, and the idea was that it was like a speedrun shooter, and like the enemy arrangement was always the same. Things would pop out at the same time, and it was about trying to like speedrun these levels. It was really good. No one played it. But
no, I didn't play it either.
I've not heard of it.
Look it up.
Kev,
I'll have to.
What about you?
So my suggestion of the week is going to be Halo 4. If you've not played it, the thing is, it's one of those games that people hear about and they just don't play. The campaign, the amount of love they've put into that campaign is evident. And I think it's like the best in the series for me personally, and I think people enjoy it. So if you've not played Halo 4, get the Master Chief Collection. I think on CD keys it's only like £5 something now.
We didn't say that. We do not promote CD keys here, I swear. Kev, I'm really disappointed because I had the game when we weren't sit down to play it, didn't we? And then my disc didn't work because it's all scratched. Cause
that's what he says. I think he just didn't want to play with me and he scratched it all. He does everything.
No, but I'm really disappointed because I thought that would, for a reason, because I've never played all the Halos. I've only done 1 and 2, I think. So I'm disappointed that I'm never going to actually play Halo now because I've got no one to play it with.
I just enjoy the campaign. It's worth it, man. Get it again.
Nah.
Halo 4 is worth it alone for that price.
Mike, what about yourself? Anything you could suggest?
I think that, as I've said a little bit earlier, Spelunky. Everyone should be playing Spelunky. It's coming out free on Games with Gold. It's backwards compatible.
So you gotta wait.
Right? Yeah, there's a little bit of a wait, I suppose. I suppose you can't get at it this week, but that is
Don't worry.
absolutely...
I can bend the rules.
Yeah, fair enough. What else is coming out this week? Oh, man. There's a bunch of new Hitman episodes as well. I know you're not big into Hitman, but they've done some... I guess they're trying to keep the content flowing, but they're sort of getting ahead of themselves a bit. So they've remixed a couple of the levels and set them at night.
Okay.
And so, like the Sapienza one, which was this kind of Italian town, we were just playing it, and their remixed version, it's like a film set for a sci-fi movie, and there's a guy in a kind of Iron Man suit. And the thing about the Iron Man suit is it's bulletproof, so you can't just shoot him, which is my...
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like
usual tactic, or blowing him up with an exploding rubber duck.
Yeah, I keep hearing that rubber duck.
Yeah, exactly. So,
You're selling me on the game. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
You're selling me on this game.
it is fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's worth having a crack at. But yeah, so they've remixed the level. It's the same environment, but with a totally different spin and new ways to kind of bump this guy off. So that's quite cool. Like, I know a lot of people don't get on with the kind of episodic bite-sized thing with Hitman, but I really think they've done quite well to kind of keep you interested. We play a lot of it outside Xbox.
Fair enough. All right, well, that is an hour, so let's plug and get ourselves out of here. Kev, you can go first. Let's put your positive voice on.
Right, yeah, go to outerlives.net, check out there. We've got news, articles about games, TV. I recently put up a review for Stranger Things, which is an amazing TV show, so if you want to pop over to the site, read that, it would do me a favour.
He hasn't stopped shutting up about that Stranger Things either.
It's amazing, it's incredible. I don't know if you've seen it.
It looks
brilliant.
good. I've been meaning to catch up with it.
It's incredible. Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter at Don't Shoot Tarney.
Now, let me repeat, at Don't Shoot Tarney. Every time I Twitch stream, I Twitch with Kev a lot, so everyone can hear his audio. So I'll sit there promoting, like, be sure to check out YouTube, and he's like, hey, don't forget Don't Shoot Tarney on Twitter, yeah? I'm like, Kev,
I need those Twitter followers. I'm only on like 100.
I'll follow you,
Mike,
Kev.
what?
I'll follow
Yes!
Yeah.
It worked! It worked!
And it
Mike,
only took
what about
all of
yourself?
your self-respect.
Hey, we've got none of that here.
I'm at youtube.com/outside Xbox. That's where I make videos about stuff. And you can find me on Twitter at Mike Channell, which is 2 N's and 2 L's in channel, which is probably why
Told you.
Yeah, I've got
I was right.
Yeah,
We had a conversation before you come on. It's like, is it channel or is it spelled? Is it pronounced
Or is it
Chanel?
Chanel? I wanted
or is
to
it
say Chanel.
If you want
or what is it?
If you want to make me sound sophisticated, you can say Chanel. It sounds cool.
I want to say it the French
Yeah,
way.
if you want to do that, it just makes me sound a lot more cultured and like exotic than I actually am.
It's bouquet, not
Exactly,
bucket.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, again, Mike, thank you so much
No
for
worries,
coming
man.
on.
It's
Thank
been
you for
an
hitting me
absolute
up.
Pleasure.
When we can get you on again, we will. I'm sure I'll see you at EGX or something.
On the
and
bus.
Bump into
Yeah.
you. Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I just bought a car, so I won't be on the bus anymore. Sorry.
Aw, man.
Aww.
Do you know what? Saying that, my fiance's just got a car, so yeah, I'm never on the bus anymore either.
Oh, there you
Sorted.
go.
We finally made it. We finally made
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter at MCFixer, youtube.com/MCFixer, patreon.com/MCFixer. This is sort of everything. Again, thank you everyone that does support. Again, thank you to everyone that comes to my birthday stream. I was drunk by 11:30 as
That was incredible.
Good birthday.
oh, I was smashed. I was absolutely crazy. But I got some more Patreon support. We made a load of my own donations and everything. So thank you. You guys keep me going. You're the reason I can keep going. So thank you again. Thank you to Mike for coming on the show. I will love you, leave you, and I'll see you guys later.
Ciao, Bella.
That's not gonna catch on, Kev. I swear.